Hi everyone, greetings to all my dear brothers and sisters, dear Nagas, and to all our friends from other communities. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm making this short video to talk about something I feel is very important, and that is the confusion that still exists today about who the Nagas really are. I'm not here to argue with anyone or accuse anyone. My only purpose is to clarify and to bring some sort of understanding, because very often we all know that conversations about the Nagas are often filled with noise, confusion, prejudice, judgment, you name it, insults, mockery, half-truths, and all kinds of uncomfortable comments. And in that process, in all that noise, respect for one another as fellow human beings seems to have lost. So let me begin first on the labels and the misunderstanding that we hear so much today. Very often we hear people using words like Nagaland Nagas, Manipur Nagas, Kaccha Nagas, and so on, especially on social media platforms. The sad thing is people don't use these terms just to identify, but many use these terms to insult, some out of ignorance, and the sad thing is some don't even take the time to understand what they're actually saying. So let us not be among those who speak without understanding, because the Naga identity was never meant for insult or mockery. It was, and it's still, a name that carries deep respect, pride, love among our people across borders. It is an identity that many hold close to their hearts. These words like Nagaland Nagas, Manipur Nagas came much later after the states were created. And the truth is, Nagaland became a state in 1963 and Manipur in 1972. And to talk a little bit about this Manipur, earlier it was not Manipur, it was called Kangleipak. And the valley, the present-day Imphal Valley, was a kingdom, independent kingdom of the Meitei people. And they very often had wars with the Ahoms and the Burmese. And during the 7 years devastation and other invasion, the Meitei people would come up to the hills for shelter and refuge. And the people in the hill, the Nagas and the tribals in the hills, would give them shelter. And that is a very long history, and I will not be going into it today. But I'll be particularly talking about the Naga movement that had already begun long before the formation of these present-day Indian states of Nagaland and Manipur. When those states were formed, instead of uniting Nagas, actually the formation of the states divided the Nagas further politically, geographically, and even emotionally. So I will be sharing a brief history of the Naga people, their identity, and the national movement. The Naga people are an indigenous group mainly found across the hills of Nagaland, present-day Nagaland, Manipur hills, the parts of Arunachal Pradesh, in pockets of present-day Assam, and they also have a significant presence in parts of Myanmar. The Naga people are made up of different tribes, each having its own culture, language, and customs, and connected by common practices, for example, the Morang system or the youth dormitory system. But what unites the Nagas even more is the shared identity and the common dream of self-determination as one Naga people. And I will not go very deep into every detail because that would take very long, but I'll be very brief and share how the Naga movement began, and this will clarify the identity of the Naga people today. So let me begin with the early political movements, the Naga Club and the Naga Raj movement. The Naga movement goes way back even before India's independence from the British. In the early 1900s, Naga political awareness began to take shape in two directions. In 1918, the Naga Club was formed. Many of its early members were Nagas who had served as labor corps under the British during the First World War. They came together united by a shared sense of identity. Around the same time, in the southern part, in the southern Naga region, someone by the name Haipou Jadonang from the Zeliangrong community started the Naga Raj movement, as the British would call it, a call to both political and spiritual freedom. He envisioned the end of the British rule and challenged the British Empire, and he was later executed by the British. He dreamt of a Naga kingdom that would revive traditional faith through the what we call the Heraka movement. It's still existing today in parts of Peran, and in Manipur in Assam. Jadonang was, like I said, later executed by the British in 1931, and his successor, Gaidinliu, the Indians would call her Rani Gaidinliu. She took up the cause and continued the struggle until her arrest in 1932 again. Now, coming back to the Naga Club, in 1929, the Naga Club submitted a memorandum to Simon Commission, that is to the British, clearly stating that the Nagas should not be included in any political arrangement with India. That was the first organized stand for the Naga right to self-determination. And let me now quickly move on to the Naga National Council. So here I would like to highlight that the Naga Club eventually evolved into the Naga National Council in 1946 under the leadership of A.Z. Phizo, an Angami Naga from Konoma village, a very famous village. It is a heritage village in Kohima district. And on August 14, 1947, a day before India gained independence, the NNC declared Naga independence that we all already know. The Indian government did not recognize it, which led to growing tensions and eventually armed resistance. The Naga federal government was formed, the Naga federal army was formed, and leading to long years of conflict against the Indian government. The Indian government responded with heavy military operations and the imposition of the AFSPA. Many lives were lost. Nagas paid heavy price. The NNC, the Naga National Council's movement spread beyond Nagaland and reaching the Tangkhul region of Ukhrul, the Mao, Khomai areas of Senapati, and the Zeliangrong people whose movement was earlier suppressed. As I mentioned earlier, the leaders, Haipou Jadonang, was hung and Gaidinliu was arrested. The Zeliangrong people also joined the common Naga movement, and all the Naga people stood together for the same cause. And after this, I will now move on to the formation of Nagaland State, the Nagaland Statehood, and the 16-point agreement. By 1960, the Naga People's Convention negotiated with the government of India, leading to the 16-point agreement. You can read the archives and the records, documents for more details. This agreement led to the foundation of the creation of the state of Nagaland under the Indian Union, which officially came into being on December 1st, 1963. While this was seen as a milestone and it brought a lot of peace in Nagaland, it did not fulfill the aspirations of all Nagas, especially those who are outside, those who were left out, I would say. They were left out outside the new state boundaries. Many continue to hold on to the original dream of complete sovereignty and integration of all the Naga areas. And then now comes the Shillong Accord. Shillong Accord and the birth of NSCN. In 1975, the Shillong Accord was signed between the Indian government and the NNC leaders, who agreed to lay down arms and accept the Indian constitution. But this decision deeply divided the Naga people actually. Many saw it as a betrayal of the national cause. Out of that fallout came a new formation, the NSCN, the National Socialist Council of Nagaland. They call it Nagalim, referring to all the Naga occupied territory in and around the northeast region. That was formed in 1980. It was led by Isak Chishi Swu from Sumi tribe, and T.H. Muivah, he belongs to the Tangkhul tribe, and S.S. Khaplang, he is a representative from Myanmar. He is a Burmese Naga. They sought to revive and carry forward the Naga struggle with renewed faith and a clearer purpose. So after the new formation of this NSCN, a lot of things happened, and there was a lot of fightings between the Nagas, between the faction NNC and NSCN. And later on, long stories, I will make it short, NSCN split into NSCN-IM and NSCN-K, both continuing the movement through different paths. Now I'm coming directly to the current ongoing peace process. It started in 1997. The NSCN-IM and the government of India signed a ceasefire agreement, and that marked a new phase of dialogue and peace efforts. The talks have been continuing since then. Okay, a lot of efforts have been put into bringing early solutions, and in 2015 the framework agreement was signed, which was seen as a major step forward. But the key issues like integration of Naga territories and the concept of shared sovereignty flag and constitution, all of these things were an issue, like a hurdle. Today, coming back to what and how I started about the Naga identity, there is no reason, not a single reason for people to be calling one another as Nagaland Nagas or Manipur Nagas, especially with the intention to insult or mock. Of course, in order to identify one another, we can say that yes, I'm a Naga from Manipur, I am a Naga from Nagaland, I am a Naga from Assam, Naga from Myanmar, Naga from Arunachal Pradesh. But very sadly, a lot of people have started manipulating these terms in order to insult and mock and divide the Nagas further. So I am here to request understanding of this purpose. The purpose of this video is not to take sides or debate politics. And I also would like to tell everyone that it is just to clear the confusion, to dispel the confusion about who the Nagas are, where we come from, and what our identity really means. The Naga identity is not about where you live, whether Nagaland, Manipur, Arunachal, Assam, Myanmar. It's about a shared history, a shared struggle, a shared destiny. So let us stop calling one another with names. Let's stop dividing ourselves with the words that were never ours. Let us speak with understanding, respect, and truth. Because being from Nagaland doesn't make you more Naga. Being from Manipur doesn't make you less Naga. We are one people, one story, one spirit. So that is what I want to convey through this video. If I have said anything wrong, you can leave your comments down here in the comment section. I will try to clarify as much as possible. Otherwise, yes, let us all respect one another. Different communities living in different parts of this Northeast, we need to respect one another. We have to understand one another, understand the background of one another before we jump into insulting one another and start calling names. I'll be coming up with more videos and contents like this to go deeper into the relationships between different communities in the Northeast. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a great time ahead, and let us maintain good relationship with one another.